Hi friends, today I would like to address you on one of the important provision of law, section 13 of the Transfer of Property Act, which says that the transfer of the property for the benefit of unborn person. We generally know the principle of Transfer of Property Act says that the transfer of property should be between two living persons, two or more living persons. Therefore, this is called inter vivos. Inter vivos means transfer of property between two or more living persons, like say a transaction of sale, contract of contract of lease, or any kind of contract between two or more persons in respect of the immovable property. Therefore, transfer of property is an act between two or more living persons, and persons may be a legal person in the eye of law, maybe a bank, maybe a company incorporated under the Companies Act. However, section 13 of the TP Act says that transfer of property for the benefit of unborn person. Now we get surprised how the property can be transferred to an unborn person who is yet to born or has not born, who is not in existence at the time of transfer of the property. Yes, still under section 13 of the TP Act, the property can be transferred validly from a person to an unborn person. Yes, this is possible. However, what are the conditions which are required to be fulfilled under section 13? That need to be seen. First of all, it is very much important to know what section 13 itself says. Section 13 says that where on transfer of property an interest therein is created for the benefit of a person not in existence at the time of transfer, subject to prior interest created by the same transfer, the interest so created for the benefit of unborn person shall not take effect unless it extend to the whole remaining interest in the property of the transferor. This section says that yes, the property can be transferred to unborn person who is not yet born or unborn. Now see, the property cannot be in abeyance. Suppose X person wants to transfer to the property to a person who is not in existence or unborn. Then someone has to be there who should hold the property, who should enjoy the property, who should have custody or possession of the property till the unborn person gets. Because if X directly cannot transfer the property to unborn person, therefore under section 13 the property cannot be directly transferred from the transferor to the unborn persons. So logically there has to be a person, mediator, who should enjoy the property, who should possess the property as a trustee. Therefore section 13 says about two conditions. If these two conditions are fulfilled, then transaction under section 13 of the Transfer of Property Act is valid, and validly a property or along with its ownership can be validly transferred to unborn persons. What are those important conditions need to be seen? Number one, the prior interest must be created. Prior interest must be created, and the remain absolute interest must be transferred in favor of the unborn person. These are the two important conditions. So a prior interest has to be created, like a transferor who wishes to transfer the property to unborn person, he cannot directly transfer. So he will create a trust, or he will create a mediator. He has to transfer the property in favor of the mediator. That mediator may be a living person. For example, Mr. A wants to transfer the property to his grandson, but his son B has not married yet. Therefore, B has to marry first. Thereafter, once they get a son, means A will have a grandson, then the property will be transferred. Take example, under a contract, Mr. A transfers the property to B, his son, for the benefit of unborn grandson. This transaction is very well valid, because why? The prior interest is created. Prior interest is his son. Now the question arises whether the nature of right of prior interest, that is the mediator, what kind of rights he has in respect of the property, whether the ownership in the property goes to the mediator, that is his son B, or he will have only life interest. Section 13 of the Transfer Property Act says that the mediator who holds the property, who enjoys the property, who possesses the property, who waits for birth of the unborn person, that mediator has only life interest in the property. Therefore, he cannot become the owner of the property. Means prior interest or mediator can enjoy the property. He has life interest in the property. However, he is not having absolute right in respect of the property. He cannot become owner of the property. Logically, why? Because if B becomes owner of the property, that is mediator, A is the transferor. If B becomes owner of the property, then absolutely B will have every right in respect of the property to sell it out to someone, because he can dispose the property, he can alienate the property according to his wish. Then therefore, this kind of transaction will not be covered under section 13. Section 13 says that the property is going to be transferred to unborn person. Therefore, the nature of right of B is only life interest. It is not absolute interest. And mediator or prior interest does not have vested interest, does not have absolute interest. He has only life interest. Therefore, the mediator or prior interest can enjoy the property, can take the possession of the property, can usufruct the property, but he has to hold the property as a trustee only and has to wait for unborn person. Now, second condition under the Transfer Property Act is that first is prior interest, which we have covered. Second is because section says that the interest so created shall not transfer unless it shall not take effect unless and until it extend to the whole remaining interest in the property of the transferor. For example, Mr. A wants to transfer the property to his grandson, and A has B is the son of A, and B is created as a prior interest. Property is transferred to B so as to transfer ultimately to unborn person. Now, under the transaction, I would like to give two examples. Under the transaction, A wishes that he says that he is transferring the property by an agreement to B so that the property will be transferred to unborn person A grandson, first grandson, and after the death of first grandson to second grandson, or after the death of second grandson to third grandson. Then this transaction is not a valid transaction according to section 13, because why? Section says that the whole remaining interest in the property must be transferred to the unborn person. Means the nature of right of the unborn person in respect of the property is absolute one. Absolutely, property should be transferred. There shouldn't be any condition or clauses or impediment in the right of the unborn person in respect of that property. Therefore, here, if first grandson dies, then it will be transferred to B, and if second grandson, and second grandson dies, then it to third grandson. Then this transaction is not valid according to section 13 of the Transfer Property Act. Now, I would like to give the best example of valid transaction. Mr. A has created prior interest to his son B, and Mr. A wishes that the property should be transferred for the benefit of first grandson. Then this is valid, because absolutely first grandson's right will be absolute right in respect of the property. Now see the nature of rights, comparison between the rights of the prior interest and right of person. Unborn person has absolute right in respect of the property, and whereas the life interest has only the prior interest has only life interest. He can enjoy the property, he can purchase the property, he can usufruct the property, whereas unborn person will get absolute right in respect of the property. He will become owner of the property, whereas prior interest does not become owner of the property. He is only like a custodian, guardian, or trustee of the property who holds the property for the benefit of unborn person. Yes, so there are two conditions only which need to be satisfied, which I have already covered. Number one says that the prior interest has to be created, that is yes. Second, the whole remaining interest in the property must be transferred. It means absolute interest in the property must be transferred. Now, number of questions arises. These are the main crux of the matter, important provisions of the matter, and conditions which I have covered. Now, there are various possibilities and number of questions arises because this section is very tedious. Number one, how many transactions, how many prior interests can be created? Question arises. One, two, or only one? Answer is any number of prior interests can be created, 1, 2, 3, 4, provided that they are living persons. Because law does not prevent the transferor to transfer the property to only particular person. So prior interest or mediator can be 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. They hold the property as a trustee. However, the condition is that all prior interests or mediator should be living persons. At the time of transfer, they should be living. Generally what happens, A transfer the property to B. B is a prior interest, so that the property would be transferred to unborn son of the B. However, there is no particular law which law does not restrict that how many number of prior interests can be. There can be 1, 2, 3, 4, but the condition is that they should be alive. All should be alive at the time of transfer, because they are only just guardian who holds the property, who are like a trustee only. Now, second question arises: at what point of time the unborn person gets right or the property is vested in him? Answer is the moment when unborn person gets birth, that time the property will be vested in him and divested from the owner. Means the moment when unborn person gets birth, the transferor will not be owner of the property. His interest will go, and the moment he gets birth, unborn person will get the right in the property, and his nature of right is absolute right. Therefore, the moment when unborn person gets, he will get the absolute right in respect of the property. However, the possession of the property could be with the guardian, that is mediator, because he is like a trustee. So till minority he can enjoy the property, till life he can enjoy the property. However, the absolute ownership in respect of the property goes or vested in favor of the unborn person. Now, number of possibilities arises. For example, if mediator or prior interest should be alive, he should be alive till the unborn person gets birth. Obviously, prior interest has to be a living person, and he should be alive till the unborn person gets birth. If it doesn't happen, then what will be the situation? For example, Mr. A has created a transfer, and he transferred the property to B, and ultimately Mr. A wants to transfer the property to his grandson. B is son and C is grandson. Now Mr. B dies. The prior interest or mediator dies before the birth of the unborn person. Then in that case, what is the solution for that? Whether unborn person gets birth later on will get the right in respect of the property? Answer is no. Because why? The unborn person must get birth